your man, my man, my man.
Martin is stressed trying to come up with a topic for his radio show tomorrow. He dismisses everyone's suggestions except Gina, who thinks he should tell the story of how they first met. Martin likes the suggestion, but there's some discrepancies in the actual story.
Now, I remember when you two first met, and it wasn't all that.
Yes, it was.
Gina listens to Martin's insane version of how they first met. In his version, he's a fake-ass superfly. Pam is all over him, but he rejects her before locking eyes with Gina. He uses some corny pickup line. Meanwhile, Gina is just all kind of thirsty.
I need a man. I'm tired of being by myself.
Then he serenades her with the saxophone, and Gina glides across the room and basks in his presence.
The first time I saw you, I wanted to touch you.
After laughing at his delusional version of the events, Tommy, the voice of reason, asks Martin where were he and Cole in this story. Pam offers to tell the story, but hers is even crazier. In her version, Martin and Cole are on the run from the law, take Gina as a hostage.
You're a bad man! You're a very bad man!
Martin is unfazed and says he'll tell his version of the story because it is his show. But Gina insists that the truth be told, and here comes her version. In her version, Martin is a shy Urkel type who sends Tommy and Cole over to Gina because he was too scared to approach her himself. Gina takes pity on this pitiful version of Martin and claims to see the potential inside of him. She reprimands the date she came with for calling Martin a loser and vows to mold him into a man. Now, usually we're on Gina's side, but her version is crazy as hell too. So Tommy steps up to tell the story on how it actually happened.
This is a story you should use on your show tomorrow because it's the truth.
Tommy, Cole, and Martin crash a party that Gina and Pam are attending. Martin immediately notices Gina and tries to holler at her by taking food off her plate.
Excuse me!
Martin and Gina introduce themselves to each other, and Martin thinks they should leave together, but Gina curves him. Martin doesn't give up. This boy really tries to play the damn sax, but it doesn't work out like it did in his version. Martin shakes off the embarrassment and again tries to get Gina's number. Pam catches them crashing the party, but Martin pretends to not know Tommy and Cole and that he's with Gina so he doesn't get kicked out. Gina reluctantly covers for Martin, but Pam is not convinced. So Martin plants a huge kiss on Gina to prove that they're together. Pam lets him stay, but kicks Tommy and Cole out. And once they're gone, Gina slaps Martin for kissing her without her consent. But before he could finish his apology, Gina kisses him back and they fall in love. And the next day on the radio, Martin tells the real story of what happened. Let's review. Martin can't decide on the topic for his radio show, and Gina suggests he talk about the time they met. Martin likes the idea, but tells a fictional version of the story where he's a player and Gina is drawn to his swag. Gina's version of the story isn't much better. In it, Martin is a beta male who Gina vows to mold into a man.
Would you mold me?
Yes!
Could you mold me?
Tommy finally tells a real story where Martin crashes a party and tries to holler at Gina twice, but is rejected. When Pam finds out they don't belong at the party, Martin pretends to be Gina's man to avoid being removed. Gina is offended that Martin would kiss her at first, but sparks fly and they fall in love, and the rest is history. So after making up a story where Gina is a thirst bucket and he's a pimp, and almost telling it on the public radio until Tommy steps in with the truth, and while we're at it, for putting his hands in Gina's food and kissing her without her consent, is Martin a fuckboy? You let us know what you think in the comments.